Hello everyone. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast channel. I'm your host, Shanta, and today, we'll discuss an important challenge every language learner faces, remembering new words.
And I'm Sarah, your co-host. Learning new words is exciting, but let's be honest, it's frustrating when you forget them when you need them the most.
Exactly. Have you ever had a conversation and suddenly blanked on a word you just learned? Or did you study words for a test only to forget it the next day?
If this sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. Many English learners struggle with retaining new vocabulary, but the good news is that there are effective memory techniques to help you remember words better.
In today's episode, we'll explore 6 powerful memory techniques that will help you master English vocabulary and retain words for the long term. Let's get started. Before we dive into the techniques, let's talk about why remembering vocabulary is so difficult. English has thousands of words, and simply reading or hearing a word once is not enough to make it stick in your memory.
That's right. Our brains are designed to forget information that isn't used frequently. If we don't reinforce what we learn, we end up forgetting it quickly.
This is why traditional methods like rote memorization, repeating words over and over, aren't always effective. We need smarter ways to commit words to memory and make them part of our active vocabulary.
And that's where these 6 memory techniques come in. Let's explore them one by one.
Our first technique is mnemonic devices. A mnemonic is a memory trick that helps you associate new words with something you already know. It could be a rhyme, an acronym, or even a funny connection. The key is to make the association memorable and meaningful to you. For example, if you want to remember the word benevolent, break it down. The prefix "ben" sounds like benefit. A benevolent person benefits others with their kindness.
That's a great trick. Another mnemonic technique is to create acronyms. Let's say you're learning the word gregarious, which means sociable and outgoing. You can think of a guy named Greg, a friendly person who loves socializing. Greg is gregarious. Now, whenever you hear the word, you'll imagine Greg at a party, making friends with everyone.
Mnemonics are great because they turn learning into a fun and creative process. You can make up the tricks that work best for you. Next up is visualization. This technique involves creating a mental image of a word and its meaning. When we form a strong mental picture, it sticks in our memory better. For example, let's say you're learning the word cascade. Instead of just memorizing the definition, imagine a beautiful waterfall cascading down rocks in a lush green forest.
The more vivid and unusual the image, the better. If you're learning the word gigantic, imagine a giant standing in the middle of a city holding a massive sign that says, "I am gigantic." This kind of exaggerated imagery makes words easier to recall.
Another example is the word timid. Picture a tiny kitten hiding behind a curtain, looking scared to come out. Every time you hear timid, you'll remember that shy little kitten.
That's right. Visualization works best when you make the image personal and unique to you. You can even draw the image in a notebook if that helps solidify the meaning.
Another powerful technique is storytelling. Instead of memorizing words in isolation, try weaving them into a short story.
Let's try this with 3 words: serene, perplexed, and radiant. We could create a story like this. One morning, Sarah sat by the serene lake, enjoying the peace. Suddenly, a talking fish appeared, and she was perplexed. The fish then transformed into a radiant golden light and vanished.
That's a fun way to remember words. Stories provide context, making words easier to recall. Now, let's talk about how to apply these techniques in daily practice.
The best way to strengthen your memory is through active practice. Instead of passively reading or listening to words, use them in real sentences, conversations, and writing.
Yes. If you learn the word meticulous, don't just memorize the definition. Use it in your daily life. Say, I was meticulous while organizing my desk today.
Active learning means interacting with new vocabulary in multiple ways. Don't just read or hear the words, write them down, speak them out loud, and use them in conversations, messages, or emails. The more ways you engage with a word, the stronger your memory of it becomes.
Yes. Keeping a vocabulary journal is a great way to do this. Whenever you learn a new word, write it down along with its definition, a sentence using it, and even a small drawing to visualize it.
You can also try word challenges with a friend. Pick 5 new words and try to use them in a conversation throughout the day. The more fun and engaging it is, the better.
You don't need to set aside extra study time, just fit vocabulary learning into your daily routine. Label objects around your house in English, describe things you see while walking, or talk to yourself using new words.
Watching English movies, or reading books, and noting new words, is also a great way to absorb vocabulary naturally.
Now, let's talk about spaced repetition. Instead of cramming words all at once, review them at increasing intervals, after 1 day, then 3 days, then a week. This technique strengthens memory and prevents forgetting.
That's why flashcards work so well. Apps like Anki or Quizlet use spaced repetition to help you review words efficiently.
Speaking of flashcards, they're a fantastic tool. Write the word on one side and the meaning on the other. Quiz yourself daily and remove the cards you've mastered.
Yes. You can also play word games, challenge friends, or take online vocabulary quizzes to reinforce learning.
The secret to success? Consistency. Practicing a little every day is much more effective than cramming once in a while.
Even just 5 minutes of vocabulary practice daily can make a huge difference over time. Stay consistent, and soon, you'll have a strong vocabulary foundation.
A strong vocabulary improves communication, reading comprehension, and even confidence in speaking English.
The more words you know, the better you can express yourself. So keep learning, stay motivated, and enjoy the process.
Thanks for joining us today. If you found this episode helpful, please like, share, and subscribe.
And let us know in the comments, what's your favorite way to remember new words?
Keep practicing, and see you in the next episode.
Bye for now, and happy learning.